plus 4 is negative 6. And when I divide that by negative 6, I also get negative 1. So there we go. All right, I think we are almost done. So applying similarities with proportions. So let's go through and highlight what is important or circle or underline. So a man who is 6 feet tall is standing next to a flagpole. The shadow of the man is 3.5 feet, and the shadow of the flagpole is 17.5 feet. All right, so we have a flagpole. And the shadow of this flagpole is 17.5 feet. And we want to know what the height is, so we don't know the height. Now a man is standing. He is 6 feet tall, and his shadow is 3.5 feet. Now from this, our shadow is shorter than our height, so we're going to be a lot taller than 17.5. I can take and set this into a proportion and say height of the flagpole, shadow of the flagpole. Height of the man, shadow of the man. All right, so I'm just going to do my cross products. And I'm going to take 6 times 17.5 and divide that by 3.5. So multiply, divide, and it comes out that the flagpole height is 30, and we can label it feet. Let's try it again. Scale model of a building is 6 inches tall. All right, so here's a building, 6 inches tall. The scale model, or the scale of the model, is 1 inch to 50 feet. How tall is the building? All right, so if 1 inch is equivalent to 50 feet, then the model is 6 inches. We need to know how much the other one would be, or the real building would be. So we multiply this by 6. So we multiply this by 6. 50 times 6, 300 feet. There you go. So 2 different ways you can do some proportions. All right, we are into percents and then we are almost done. All right, so percents, you can either do it where you are taking percent out of 100 equals part over whole. The other is called a percent equation. So what is it? Part equals percent in decimal form times whole. So there you go. So let's look at this first one. What percent? So we are trying to find a percent of 84. So of is your whole, is your part. So I'm going to put this one in the percent equation. So what percent, which is out of 100, is 63, or 63 of 84. So again, just different ways you can figure it out. Say, right, how many times do you multiply 63 to get 84? Divide it here. Same thing here. Or we just go straight across. So 63 times 100 divided by 84 gives me 75%. All right, let's try the next one. So what is 85% of 24? So this of is referencing the, this is your part, of is your whole. So I'm going to put this in the equation now. So what is 85%, which, just a refresher, you move decimal over 2 to find your decimal. So 0.85 of 24. So 0.85 times 24 gives me 20.4. Okay. Sorry. Here, put your hand out. You can have a couple.
I saw all, Mama.
Yes, that's all you need for right now, okay?
That's all it.
Sorry. Not all of it, buddy.
That's all at the jar.
Yep, that's what you got. All right, so 16 is 24% of what number? So this time we are trying to find the whole. 16 is your part, and 24 is, of course, your percent. So you can set it up either way. You can set it up where you are in the percent proportion or the equation. Right? Okay. So if I set it up as a proportion, I would say 24 out of 100. You do not convert the decimal when you're working with a proportion equation. Is 16 over, we'll say whole. I then could also say 16 is 0.24 because I converted into a decimal times your whole. Now, if I were to solve the equation here, I would just divide by 0.24, divide by 0.24, and then on this one, I just do my multiply, divide. So let's see. 16 divided by 0.24 gives me 66.7, or 66.6 repeating. If I did 100 times 16 divided by 24, same thing. So my whole number is 66.6 repeating. All right. So we have 3 more problems, I believe. So a family sells a car to the dealership for 60% less than they paid for it. They paid $9,000 for the car. What price did they sell the car for? So they started at $9,000. We want to know what they sold it for, where they sold it for 60% less. So I wish I was in class with you guys to be able to be like, what do you think we could do? Well, if we're going to take 60% less than what we paid for it, we can do a couple of things. You can either take 9,000 times 60%, 9,000 times 0.6, which is 5,400. Now it says 60% less. It didn't say 60% of what they did. So what I'd have to do now is take these two and subtract them. So 9,000 minus 5,400 means that they sold it for 3,600. Now the other way you could say it is, well, what's 100 minus 60%? Yeah, 40%. So what you also could do is, instead of doing all of this here, you just take 9,000 times 0.4, that's 40%, and you should, get 3,600. So either way works on this piece, just whatever you're comfortable with. So for this one, it says a store is having a clearance sale where merchandise cost only 30% of the original price. If a shirt was originally $25, what is the sale price? So it cost only 30% of it. So this time, you're just finding 30% of 25. So 25 times 0.3 gives us $7.50. Pretty cheap shirt. All right, so Samantha 4. Let's say bought. Bought a new pair of shoes for $75 during the store's 20% off sale. What was the original price of the shoes? All right, so this time she bought them for $75. They were 20% off.
What's this?
So what you're going to do, don't do that, please. 20% off. We're going to take the 100 minus 20, and that gives us 80%. You are going to divide 75 by that. So 75 divided by 0.8, and that gives you 93.75. So if we check that, 93.75 times 0.2 is 18.75. And if I take 93.75 minus 18.75, we get $75. All right. We're at the end of our lesson. So please take and reflect on how this lesson compares to anything that we have done so far this year or what you've done in your past. There's lots of things. There's percent review, conversion factors, taking proportions and putting it to where it connects to what we've done with our equations already. So plenty of things that you can reflect on. And then make sure that this is done by the time we come back on Monday, because you will be using these notes for some review those 2 days. All right, have a great time.